Hello, dear travelers, and welcome back to another episode of the Travelcast. Today we have a guest from Argentina, Federico, the guy who traveled in Europe a decade ago as a student working in Andorra, and now you are traveling as a, let's say, working person, working remotely, and and also you are the Patagonia enthusiast, right? So Federico, please drop some words about yourself and how you start your first, like, let's say, steps in travel back then, and like where it came from.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Igar, for that intro. Amazing. And nice being here. It's super good. It's like, first of all, thank you for having me in your home. So now I'm doing this kind of digital nomad that a lot of people is doing now. Working and traveling. As you mentioned, this is my second travel here in Europe. Really enjoying it. I think it first started with traveling, like hard traveling, when I was like 17 or 18, like finishing high school. I did like a really good trip with my friends. And then I got like this great taste for traveling. And I can never stop now. It's a drug, as you can imagine.
That's good word, yeah, for this. It's like always this eager to discover more, yeah, to see more things, to taste more things, yeah, as always, yeah.
Yeah, it's like that hunger that you have for more, not only culture, like new places, meeting new people, exploring things, landscapes, peacefulness, like nature, everything. It's like a little bit of everything.
Sweet, indeed. Let's go to this first trip. Not 17 years old, but the Europe trip. Man, how you like firstly encourage yourself? Because it was not also a trip, yeah, you came to work.
Yeah.
And like how you encourage yourself as a student, like, and also as you mentioned to me, like it was like student time, as everybody has not much money, or like maybe not money at all. Yeah, like, and again, you came to another continent to work. It's like, for me, it's a lot, you know, like I would not have the courage. So how it all happened, yeah.
It's funny, and it was all the idea of one of my best friends, Franco. Hope you are listening to this.
Shout out to Franco.
Yeah. Well, we were 20 back then, and I was studying industrial engineering. Now I'm an industrial engineer, but it was my second year, I believe, and Franco, he wanted to go to do this work and holiday in the United States. That is, it was like pretty common back then in Argentina. And he was like, he didn't want to go like alone there for X reason. He didn't go to the United States. So he told me, and he tried so hard to convince me to go to Europe, to come here basically, and try this. Hey, we can go there and see how it goes. The thing is that back then I didn't have, now I have Italian citizenship, and back then I didn't have it. So it was a little tougher for me. He had the Italian one. So you can imagine coming here to work without the citizenship, it's not that easy.
All right.
So what we did is we went to Andorra, that there are a lot of Argentinians working there, and they allow for people outside of the European Union to work back then. Now I think that they do as well.
Kind of half legally.
Exactly. No, super legal, everything.
Legal? Like
super legal.
Okay,
so
okay.
when we arrived, we started working. Well, of course, I did have to have like a ticket, a return ticket to Argentina and everything else. And if I didn't find work, I will come back.
All right.
But we found work like in 13 days, I believe. We started handling CVs. I speak English. I started learning German. I think I had like 2 years and 2 years of Portuguese. So with all the languages, I found this job for receptionist. So I was receptionist at a five-star hotel. Amazing experience, man. But rewinding back a little bit, it was all Franco's idea, and it was a little scary at the beginning. You can imagine, we were young.
Definitely.
I was starting to study. It was my second year out of 5. So you can imagine, I had still a long way to go. My mother, my father, we were like a little reluctant for me to going, hey, are you coming back? You will continue studying. But they encouraged me. They really supported me. They were like really, really supportive. Of course, they lent me some money to start the trip. And the rest is history.
Nice, man. Cool. And back then it was also your first like ever trip to Europe, right?
Yeah.
And how did you feel? Like how was your experience?
I really remember this. I have this super clear image of me landing into Barcelona's airport. But man, I can tell you it's yesterday for sure. It's like me grabbing the suitcase, the big one, with my jacket because it was cold. It was December. And it was like, what is this? Where are we going now? It's like, I'm not sure about nothing in my life. It was like, I knew that I was studying in Argentina, but from that moment when the plane landed, I was with my friend. It was like, what are we going to do? And that feeling, now I'm like really living it again while I'm telling you, goosebumps. And it was like, oh man, it was like a mix of freedom, adventure, not knowing anything. So really good feeling. And like that, as the trip started, I really learned a lot of stuff. Maybe we will talk about this in a little bit, but it was like this freedom experience, feeling that I got at the beginning was amazing.
And how did you feel like, let's say, like culturally, like again, like maybe did you have any cultural shock or like, I don't know, you landed in Barcelona and then like, I don't know how you moved somehow to Andorra or like how it all happened or you...
It was like I think we went right away to Andorra, and I think that culturally maybe the first like hit that I had it was like people like all this Catalonian community that Andorra is part of. Well, in terms of the language and everything, and it was like the first touch that I had with anything extra rather than Latin America, for example. And it was weird maybe at the beginning, but kind of cool because you get to learn and see how other cultures are. There are a lot of Portuguese people as well in Andorra working, so I got like several people in the hotel like working from Portugal, and it was amazing as well. I spoke as I mentioned you Portuguese from Portugal from Brazil, but the one from Portugal, as we already said, it's a little bit tricky. So for me it was like, this is not Portuguese.
What they speak like?
Exactly. And there's this I think 2 or 3 weeks during the winter season in Andorra that all the Portuguese people come because they have the holidays in that 2-3 weeks. And I was like, oh, okay, I know how to speak Portuguese. I'm gonna be super well. And when all the I remember this bus with like 40 Portuguese people came in, and they were like checking in all at the same time, and I was like, man, I don't know Portuguese. So it's crazy.
Interesting, man. And like, how was your work experience in general? Working there, how long did you work?
I worked for 4 months, I believe. December to
season,
the ski season, December to end of March. It was super good because I really enjoy like winter, snow, and everything. So I have been to skiing in Argentina, in Mendoza. We have like several ski resorts. But like living around the snow for me was something new. One day I woke up and I had like 1 meter of snow out of my home, and I needed to go to work. So from that small things to, I don't know, getting people from Israel into the hotel, and as you know, people from Israel, they have different cultures, different way of living. We had to put, I don't know, different food into the hotel. It has a buffet, so we had to change everything. Of course, it was planned, but we had to put. I remember that, if I'm not correct, there's not sure what I'm gonna say, but. There was something with the electrical keys from the doors that not sure if they could touch it or not.
Minus camera.
-1.
Yeah, -1.
But we had to change that from the doors from the hotel. We had to put like signs in Hebrew in the elevators and everything. So I was like getting in touch with all this global culture that I have never been in touch with, and I was young, so I experienced this all kind of stuff, like learning from the world that maybe once you've seen TV and maybe interacting with someone from, I don't know, Israel or another country, like in flesh, it's totally different. And
exactly, it's what also came into my mind. Like, well, when you travel and like, you know, you hanging around, like good vibe and so on. But then your work is kind of, hey, you're responsible. You need to give a service or something to people, and it's like a little bit different expectations and connection. You know, so interesting experience. And again, like you came from zero, you know, without knowing one thing. Now you will work, you will be like, hey guys, like all my friends,
Exactly.
Back then it's like, shit,
I also practiced a lot of English there because it was a little rusty before coming.
Definitely.
Now it's not perfect. But I really perfected it during the trip,
Nice. Man, I know that you have something to tell a story about it. Like, so we can slowly wrap up the hotel experience and you can drop the story of what happened with this work.
I can drop the bomb there.
Let's go with hot.
It was super fun. As you mentioned, I was working there for the ski season. So end of the season, like in March, last week, they pay you like your last paycheck. And in that paycheck, it's like the big one because it has like the unpaid holidays, the days that you work double or triple that are like New Year's Eve, for example, Christmas, and some other national holidays from Andorra. So it was a huge one for me at that age. And it was basically everything that I needed because I was going to travel 2 months and a half after that before going to Argentina. So when that last final 2 weeks came, there was a problem with the hotel owner. As you may know, Andorra is a tax haven. So you have some, I won't tell names.
No names.
You have some banks, and the owner of one of those banks was the owner of my hotel.
Okay.
So there was this kind of problem or incident with the funds of the Russian mafia that had funds in this bank. So they did a hidden camera for these people. And they found that, of course, the Russian mafia was hiding money in the bank or laundering money. So they froze all the assets from the bank and thus from the hotel. So the hotel didn't have money to move at all. Not only to pay me or anything else. They had 5,000 euros per week to spend in everything, as you can imagine.
It's how they limit them.
Exactly. Exactly. They limited all the funds, and that's what the hotel got out of that. So you can imagine, it was like my last week, and that happened. It was on TV and everything, the hidden camera. So it was, for me, it was like, man, I'm living. This is a movie. What's that? And after that, it was like, what I'm gonna do? I talked with my manager, that was like the head of the hotel, and I told her I need to be paid with a part of those €5,000 that you have for the week. And as the last week, I think my last day was on a Friday, so I had to. I didn't start my travel Saturday or Sunday, so I lose those days. And on Monday morning, I was like at 6 a.m. in the morning or 5, I don't remember, to be the first one on the bank to like in line. There wasn't a line, luckily, to get paid. And it was like the manager told me, do this because you are gonna get paid first. And luckily, they opened the doors. I was the first entering, and they paid me. And luckily, I got to start my trip. A little late, but it was
sweet. Like anyway, it all ended up well. You had your money, full money, everything.
Full money, everything.
Cool. And and since then you start like your Euro trip with a friend.
That was with my friend, and we started traveling.
And where you guys went all together?
We went to 16 countries, if I'm not mistaken. We first started in France, in South France, the Blue Coast, and we did Nice, Marseille. Then we went to Monaco, Italy. That part from Italy is amazing. My great grandfather is from North Italy. That's why I have the citizenship. And then we went to South Italy. Then we split there. He went to Bari, he has his relatives there. Then I went to Amalfi Coast. Amazing. I really want to go back there. And then we went to Croatia, Slovenia, Slovakia, Germany, Czech Republic, even to Holland, Belgium, a lot, man.
Yeah, a lot. So cover all Europe, literally.
Yeah.
It's actually very nice. And how you guys back then traveled? Did you backpack? Did you... what was your type of your travel?
It wasn't like backpackers hitchhiking. We were like backpackers, but I remember that at that first time it was when I knew BlaBlaCar, and for me it was, man, why this isn't in Argentina?
Right.
And later on, I did some project on my university when studying about bringing that back to Argentina. So it was super fun. That's another story.
Nice.
But yeah, we traveled by like BlaBlaCar, a lot by train. We did some hitchhike though, not like long distances, but we did. Especially also working in Andorra, we did that, like to move between towns. But it was kind of low budget hostel vibes, because we loved like meeting new people. It was like, and I'm not sure if we talked about this, but I truly remember this girl that I met on a hostel in Italy, in Lake Garda, amazing place. And she was working for a big car company. She had a nice position. She earned like super good for sure. Don't know the exact numbers. And I remember that she told me I could be sleeping at a 5-star hotel for sure, but I love being in hostels. And that remains until today in my mind. And I feel like that until today. I may be paying, I don't know, a nicer hotel, not maybe a 5-star hotel, but I don't know, 3, 2, and a small one. But the vibes that you get in hostels, it's like, I don't know, you met random people, you go sightseeing. Yeah. Probably you met somebody for 1 or 2 hours, and then you friend them on Instagram, and maybe then you meet in another city. That happened to me, and for me it was like super crazy. I only know him for 1-2 hours. And then it's like really good friend, and we can talk. I don't know. I have some that we still talk, and I have only seen them like 2 hours in flesh.
In person, yeah. But online, still in contact.
Yeah.
And this is interesting. Yeah, hostel vibes, they have the vibe. I really agree. Yeah. Lately, I think I was, let's say, mixing. If let's say I travel with partner or something, and I would like some privacy, comfort, and chill. Yeah. But if in other conditions, just like if I don't wanna, let's say, rest from, or like, let's say I don't wanna be social, so then I could go to some hotel or something. But besides that, or as everybody already know, like, couchsurfing or hostel, yeah, definitely, because social part, of your trip, and then I'm not really like party animal, but hang out, like it's much different.
We're social creatures.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Definitely. And again, like you can even vibe and then travel somebody, like go to same direction, and you guys, get there and go.
Yeah.
Yeah, super cool. And back then, like that trip, what did you like remember in general? What memorized, like what catch your, soul? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, one thing that it was like.
It's so funny.
Is it gonna explode?
Right. Yeah, it's gonna off. Okay. Yeah.
Well, one thing that I really remember that it caught a lot my attention. It's like the history that Europe has. Of course, it has tons of history, but like seeing that it's not the same. And we have learned about that in school, in high school. You read books. Your friends tell you, your parents, the war, this and that, but coming here and I don't know, looking at the historic monuments or all that, for me was like, man, I'm here. The history that this place has, for example, I think the one that I remember the most, it was like the Berlin Wall. When I saw it, it was like, man, I have heard about this a lot, and seeing that there happened so many things. It was like, I cannot believe this. And it was like, the only thing that I did when I arrived there, it was like staring. It was like, like a little meditation, I could say. But that's like, you are actually in touch with the history that happened.
Literally.
Yeah. Of course, we have history in Latin America, Argentina, Brazil, everything. But we learn from European history mostly. And it's like, that one is like one thing that I was young, and I had everything like fresh from high school, for example, per se. And it was crazy for me to actually see every place that got history. Or for example, now I went to Auschwitz last week. It was like crazy, man, super crazy. Not only the sad story, we have really good ones in other places, but that for me was like huge. Yeah.
Interesting. I also can resonate yourself, like especially when you said Berlin Wall.
Yeah.
I remember when I also came first time, I was like, oh crap, like because this stuff, and it's not like big even stuff, but it was divided the city, like in country, like
exactly
for two parts. For example, for me it was also like in the head, like because again, one thing when you read and stuff, okay, there's some wall, there's something. It was
must
there.
have been tough.
Like not really okay, like interesting. But when you see it and you're like, holy cow, like it really was like this, like I mean,
how they live.
And then people cannot go to another part. I mean, like they was like, oh, shoot us. I mean, like you kind of start to feel that it's crap, it's real, and
you can really picture how it was back then.
And then like how people destroyed it. We just talk about wall, but other things as well, as you mentioned,
exactly.
And good and bad, like something. Oh wow, like something really. How people can do it, like something else. When you see it by yourself, when you touch it, one thing to see, one thing to feel, to touch. Anyway, totally agree.
Same happened, I believe. To add a little bit more on that, with the castles. I remember when I went from Andorra to Barcelona, I remember to see one like in the distance, like really fast in a blah car, and it was like, man, that's my first one. I will see more then. And then when we went into the first one, that I believe the first one that we entered with Franco, it was like the one in Carcassonne in France. Oof, it's a big one, and it was like that one. It was like the things that this huge piece of stone have seen is like that was like. Yeah, I believe that we don't have those kind of things, or we do in Latin America, but it's different.
Yeah. Well, Europe is Europe, but what I also personally interested to touch is your South American experience, because you also mentioned you travel a lot, and as we said in intro, Patagonia enthusiast,
Of course, yeah.
So I don't know even where to start. Maybe I should let you lead, because again, for me, I've been only Brazil, and all other countries is a destination like where I should go one day, sooner or later. Man, I don't know where to start. Maybe start from your hometown, if you can, like, because you showed me many amazing pictures. Let's go from here.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Mendoza, it's where I live, and it's this desert near to the mountains, to the Andes, that it's for me it's one of the greatest places to live, because it has like this combination of nature. You are near to the mountains that are like 40 minutes away from my home. We have a lake, we have like it's the highest altitude of the whole Andes, near where I live. We have this the biggest mountain of America, that it's Aconcagua, or around almost 7,000 meters. So it's tall.
It's super tall.
That's tall.
As we will discuss, like, maybe you didn't see my reaction now, but I already had this wow, like, what the fuck, like 7,000. Is it like, I don't even know what is it, to be honest.
Exactly.
Even my skin down is only 4,000, like it's double.
Exactly.
Like, come on.
And you see it is like massive, man. Yeah. I know we have the Himalayas and everything.
But I didn't see Himalayas either, like for me it's like,
No,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you and seeing that from sky, man, it's when I had the first time that I saw it from the plane, that it's all snowed. I think it's one of the best views that I ever had, and it was from a plane. And you can imagine that from a plane. Okay, you can see some clouds from top, but yeah, the Andes are like impressive, massive. Well, we have this story about the Uruguayans that fall into their plane fall into the Andes, and they walked a lot.
You had some kind of...
Yeah, it was in Mendoza. That story. Yeah,
okay,
that it's. I don't recall the name in English. But yeah, getting back to Mendoza again, it has like the perfect size as well. It's not this huge city. It's not that small. It's not a town. It's not a really big city. So for me, it's like that's the perfect size, and you have also the nature inside on the side to go. So it's really nice. It's the wine region of Argentina. We have the best Malbec in the world. They don't pay me to promote this, sadly.
Unfortunately. Maybe one day, guys.
Yeah,
like,
maybe
come
one
on.
day you can come here.
Give them money. Or wine,
Yeah,
something.
just one, please. Man, I have one friend with a winery. It would be good to have his wine here.
Oh, this.
Yeah, maybe next time.
Yeah, maybe next time. When I will be in Mendoza.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. You have my place waiting for you.
Yeah. So yeah, and like locally, like what, let's say, you can tell to people who listen to, who watch, maybe to watch if this video will be good.
About Mendoza, you mean?
About, yeah, like obviously, like it's mountain region, and you mentioned wine region and so on. How people, let's say, who will come should spend time there?
Yeah.
Like, or like, let's say, your style, spend time there, you know?
Yeah, super good question, because most of the tourists that goes to Mendoza, they go to wineries, they do these wine tours. Of course, you get drunk, you eat really good food, because as you can imagine, we have super great meat.
Yeah, you guys have this reputation.
Exactly.
The best meat, yeah.
That's a nice, and I'm not gonna lie, I love that way of spending my time. We have spoken a lot of food. You have given me like this food tour over here. So
Yeah, locally.
food, it's a really important part. I would do that, of course, because you could try really good wine with really good views about like wineries with the big mountains on the back, snow. That's an amazing postal. But I would also go like not to the traditional mountain tour that they give you. That is like going to the lake that we have near, and then to a little bit upper in the mountains that it's near to the border with Chile. But you only go with this van, and they show you some pictures. I would definitely do some hikes. Of course, it depends on how much time do you have. But if you have like 2 days to be only for hikes, I would say that would be the best. Like maybe you can do like a small hike. You have a really good one in the city that you can go by bus and then walk, and you get to see the city from above. That's a really good one, but it's crowded. Maybe if you can go a little bit more into the mountains, you can do some super good ones above the lake, and you see like on the back the high end, the middle of the Andes, that it's the highest part, and from behind you can see the lake. So it's super good. Then you have other side that it's Vallecitos, that it's an abandoned ski resort. That it starts at 3,000 meters. So you can imagine, you start from that, you get there with the car, and then you can walk until, I don't know, you can walk the highest peak there, it's 5,200, if I'm not mistaken. And, 5,800, I believe. So it's super high. And you can do like, whichever your level is, you can do like a 3-hour hike or an 8-hour hike. So super good. Totally recommend it. That's for sure. I would do that. And if not, one extra that a little bit tougher from like the higher part of the mountain. That's a really cool
to
one.
this 7K, yeah.
Yeah. That is the one that I showed you the picture of.
Yes, like, yeah. But, like, if hike, let's say, several days, can you camp there, or it will be too cold?
Yeah, no, for sure. You can camp.
Fun?
You can do, you have like any different of hike that you want to do, depending on your level. Of course, if you are a pro, you can climb up the Aconcagua. But you can do like there in Vallecitos, you can do some camping as well. You can do like the first base camp is not that high. It's like, I believe, like 1 hour from the base of the abandoned ski resort, and then you can do like one of the highest peaks there. In that zone, that's super good. It's like a trekking spot for all Mendoza, and that's super recommended.
And weather-wise, like, will be cold?
Yeah, weather-wise, Mendoza it's known for its sun. We call it the land of the sun and the wine. So you can imagine. We have, I think, more than 300 sunny days in the year, so 300 and something.
Okay.
So weather in Mendoza it's
and
super
temperature
good.
will be also fine.
Yeah, super good.
But mountains will be cold.
Yeah, it's warm over there in summer, of course.
Okay, yeah, in summer.
The thing is, at night it might drop a lot. For example, you can get on a good night you can get 10 degrees. On a more average night on summer at that height, of course, you will be like 0 degrees. You can be.
Okay, so like better to be prepared. Yeah, obviously, because like I remember in Georgia I had this not mistake. I think it's not enough experience, not knowledge. In the day it's like hot and everything. Then we sleep and it was like it was cold. And then next day we had hike. And we didn't know. We just like going and stuff. Yeah. But it's getting colder and colder. I mean, like, man, and we put everything already covered, like, Yeah. So yeah, that's why I'm asking. But I just like don't have enough experience to know.
That's the thing about mountains.
Yeah. Nice.
You have to truly be careful because weather in the mountains can change from 1 minute to the other. For example, last week I was in Germany doing this hike and. I saw that it might rain a little bit. It was the forecast said a little bit, and probability it was like 20%. So it was almost nothing. But as I do mountains like a lot with my friends, I know something. I'm not an expert, but I know how to be careful. And when I was almost reaching the top of this mountain, that I went alone. It was also in a ski resort, but in autumn. I saw that the clouds were approaching and like from really far, and I thought to myself, no, you cannot go a little bit, you cannot go more because it will the weather closes and you are like in the middle of the cloud and raining, and it's and then you get lost. So luckily, because I started to go down and it started to pour in rain, man. I was soaking wet. It was like super fun. I was like alone, running down the mountain, screaming. It was like this sentiment of freedom. But yeah, you have to be careful.
Anyway, oh man, that is fun.
Yeah.
Well, and besides Mendoza, you said also like you're close to Chile border.
Yeah.
And like, I know that you travel, and can you also tell me like about the Chile experience in general? Like, let's keep going to the South America.
We will reach Patagonia.
Yeah. And again, sure. like Patagonia, because again, if I'm like wrong with the,
we will organize the pieces.
Yeah, with mountains. Oh, sorry, with mapping. Yeah, like move me.
So you can picture like Mendoza. It's like in the middle of Argentina. Where the highest part of the Andes is. Then if you reach like the end of Mendoza, that's where Patagonia starts. You have another province.
Down.
Exactly. From end of Mendoza to more south.
But Chile also there?
Yeah, also Chile.
Chile also there.
Chile and Argentina from that latitude, the Patagonia starts. Not until the end of the war, but it starts almost.
So, let's go to Patagonia.
Yeah. The fun thing about Patagonia, it's like, oh man, I love it. It has, for me, it has everything. It's like this combination of woods, forests, lakes everywhere. Then you have the mountains that are not that high as where I live, but high enough to be impressive. And you can picture yourself like in the middle of like if you go to a beach on a lake, you can see like the forest wrapping up all the mountains from behind, then the top of the mountains white of snow. If you're lucky enough, you can see deers, for example, or other animals. It's crowded in summer, in peak summer, but if you go like in autumn or spring, it would be like less crowded as every touristic place, and you have like tons and tons of good spots. If you don't like one, or if you already visited like, I don't know, 70 spots, you still have places to go. I think I've been there like, I don't know, like 8 times, like road tripping with my family, with friends. And I have not even visited, like, I don't know, not even like 20% of it. It's like, I mark on Google Maps the spots that I want to go in green, as we said. And I have a lot. Luckily, I have a lot because these are excuses to go back.
Yeah. And is it considered like a national park?
Yeah, we have several national parks within Patagonia itself. It's not a national park. It's like the region between Chile and Argentina. And Patagonia has, from the Argentinian side, we have several national parks, and from the Chilean side as well. They have their several parks from there.
So, and like, if it's national park, because it's like here, it will be forbidden to camp. In Patagonia, how it will be?
Yeah, good question. You have, for example, in the parts that are national parks, you have these camping spots, of course.
Spots like where you come and pay, like, somebody
exactly. You go first. You have to pay the entrance to the park, and then you go to this specific camping spot or site. And then in some of them, I believe I didn't camp there in those in the national parks. I have camped in other sites,
but let's say illegally, like somewhere hidden, like between woods.
Yeah. People do it.
Yeah.
It's illegal, and mostly in terms of the fire.
Fire, obviously.
Yeah,
it's all about fire. Yeah.
Last year, I went in summer. I went like 3 times. Once with my family, and then 2 with different groups of friends. And in between, there were like these super huge fires. So we arrived after the fires.
Yeah.
And man, it's like all ashes and burned, and you can see like all the mountains. It's all like covering around, and you can see it like, and it's like that was because one stupid burned something.
Or even accident, like some wind comes like and it starts, all the forest and all the stuff burns like immediately. Yeah. You just need, if it's some dry, I don't know, like leaves or like woods or something, it's spreading super fast. Like you go, I don't know, pee, like come back, you fire already.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it's just like matter of minutes. Yeah, and you said the entrance. So do you have to pay in general to visit Patagonia?
Not Patagonia itself, but the national parks.
Okay.
Some national. I believe 1 or 2 are free. I'm not quite sure now, but yeah, in general you have to pay. It's nothing, and if you make the conversion to euros, it's even less.
Yeah. But that's in general to know.
Yeah.
To have an idea of the conception of their like region parks or something. Yeah. Nice. And is there any difference, like your personal opinion, like Patagonia, like Chile side and Argentina side?
You have touched a really interesting point, my friend. It's a controversial point.
Some people you have arguments there. National arguments.
Yeah, of course. No. Some people say one side is better than the other.
Of course, like locals. Like, but you as a traveler,
for me,
independent.
It depends when you ask me.
Yeah.
No. For me, both are equally good. I really, really love both. The thing is that I find like the Chilean side, it's more compressed, as Chile is more thin. So it's like you go on your car, and in less distance you have like, or you are more covered in the mountains, like you are more inside the mountains.
I see. Okay.
In Argentina you can have that in some roads, but in general it's a little bit more wide or open for me. That's my view. But it's like in Chile it's a little bit more compressed, as they are like so thin. But it's equally good for me in both sides. You have like you have also it's part of the how do you say it? It's the fire ring of the earth that has a lot of volcanoes. So there are now active volcanoes.
Really?
Yeah. So super good. When I went,
you can go like you see this.
Yeah. Last year, no, I didn't see. I wanted to see lava, man. That was that. It is like still on my back.
Like right now, like
exactly.
have lava inside. Like Oh, really? You can?
Yeah.
Because this is fascinating.
This is a good one. In the Chilean side, you have this this town that it's called. now I'm gonna forget about it. It will come to my mind. It will come.
Definitely.
But you have this town that it has the active volcano, and it's been active for quite some time. And when I visited, you can see the smoke coming out, and sadly for me, I couldn't see the lava. But at night, you could see like reddish, like
from the
exactly
how to say
like
light?
the reflection. Yeah. And you could really see it like on the sky. It was like this red brightness. So it was amazing.
It's like asking you to come.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, come here. I won't harm you. You have to make a donation.
Interesting. And so like volcanoes from both sides also? Or,
Yeah, for both sides. When I graduated from high school in 2011, I believe, it's a tradition in Argentina that at that time you travel, every school does it, and generally you go to Patagonia, to Bariloche, that it's a really common place, beautiful town. And when we arrived there, it was right after a volcano eruption. So you had ashes, but tons of ashes, like it was like a pile of snow of ashes, like super like light, because it's it's ashes.
Man,
and those stones like super light, and they were like everywhere. I really it was like super crazy, man.
And like would people live somehow there around?
Yeah, I'm not sure if they
safe zone, kind of.
they had some safe zones, but not sure if they evacuated some at the time, but it wasn't that harmful for towns or anything. But yeah, it erupted. Yeah,
Man, interesting.
Crazy.
Interesting. And as a touristic side, I mean, as a tourist itself, like, did you mention which side has less tourists? Is like, do you feel it? Because for instance, I know that in like here in Poland, Zakopane, Polish side. Tatry mountain, and Polish side is Zakopane. Oh my god, man! Like it's like that's why I didn't go yet. It's like full of people, like just everywhere, people everywhere, literally. It's what I heard from people who've been there.
Yeah,
and I've been only from Slovakian, if I'm not wrong. Slovakia.
Yeah,
right?
Slovakia.
Yeah, Slovakian side. Man, like almost no. I mean, like there are people obviously, but like
you
so
climb
shit.
to because you can go up.
Like I was hanging out there. Like there's also some lake was there, but I mean, people was like normal amount, kind of, but not overcrowded. And I heard it in Polish side because it's beautiful and everything, so people go. It's like national.
I think
so. Like, is there any difference? Like this in.
Let me think. No, I think it both are crowded, man. Yeah, and especially in
season.
in summer season you can see it more because you have a lot of national tourists that are everywhere, and of course everyone from outside. Patagonia is super well known, so people from the United States, Europe. In the Chilean side, they from Israel, they do this like I mentioned you. After they graduate high school, they took this trip to Patagonia, and I think they do more the Chilean side. We saw when we went last year, a lot of Israeli people and young ones, because they do like this. It's like this after graduation trip. Yeah,
Interesting. Wow.
Super cool.
All right, man. Yeah, this is good. This is very good. Like we can go with Patagonia, I think, more and more, because a lot of questions. But I think it's better to go and see, guys. Just like go. Like we have promotion already, and I know the place. Again. Influencer mentioned a lot and everything. So like definitely place to visit. From I believe like nature is nature.
Yeah, I think
amazing. And and. Moving more to South America.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to add or share? Some stories?
Some stories. I think. I have one great one when one funny one, not a great one. when I went with my friends to Colombia. We went like I don't know in 2018, I believe. We were 4. And we went to the Caribbean side of Colombia, like Cartagena, and we went to this national park that they have, but it's too expensive to sleep there inside the park. So we decided to find an Airbnb outside the park. Funny thing, the Airbnb was like inside of the jungle. We had to like walk like 3 or 4 blocks from the main road into the jungle, like go up into this hill. When we arrived it was raining, so it was super difficult to find the address that we were supposed to arrive. We asked locals and everything, and nobody knew because you don't have like a number there. Like, go straight into the jungle, man. Nothing bad can happen in Colombia. So we finally arrived, and there was this couple, like, I don't know, 40 years old. This woman with her husband. And the woman was super excited about us. She started telling that how cute you are. She wanted to take pictures with us. The husband took pictures from her with us, and she started sending them to her daughter, friends. It was crazy. And the lady was hitting on all of us. It was the husband was sitting like right there. It was like all in Spanish. He understood everything, of course. And they were like, we were like, we don't know what to do. So it was like...
Sounds like a horror movie. From perspective, she's hitting and somebody up, and the husband chick everybody, you're in the jungle, like nobody will find you, who you are.
Know. And then we were making jokes. Until today, we make jokes with my friends, and it's like we were wondering what the husband is gonna do. So we told them it was like he probably is gonna gonna hold the camera. We don't know.
Exactly right.
for something like that. And I remember that when we sleep that night, we were like in 2 separate rooms. The house was like old, and as you can imagine, in the middle of the jungle. The view of the house was impeccable. You could see like the whole hill that you have in front. It was super great. I cannot complain about that. It was super amazing. But the rooms, they had like these metal doors, and we were like, okay, we were gonna close them just in case, but we didn't have like the key, so it was like, okay, we're gonna pray with nothing else. But nothing happened, and she was lovely in the end.
Yeah. Interested, this is the story, exactly like. And what countries you visited in South America?
South America, well, Argentina, Chile, of course, Colombia, then Uruguay that I went last year. It's pretty similar to Argentina, of course. If you go, you will hear that they speak same as in Buenos Aires, like the accent. And Brazil, of course, big fan of Brazil. It's a super huge country. Well, you have been there. I don't have to sell it to you.
Well, for me, not for people.
So I truly love Brazil. I think I have been there like 4 or 5 times, and each time that I go back, it's like I don't have to forget that this country is the best. I have to go back in not that I don't have to wait that much to come back. For example, this year I went with my girlfriend. We went to Rio and Bucios, and the time that we went, it was July. It was July. Or
did you touch the carnival? Did you
No, carnival
before?
It's in
February, I guess.
After carnival it's in February.
Yeah.
We went in June or July, for example, something.
Sorry, like I don't know in my head, like I it's pronounced like I heard like January. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know why.
June.
Yeah. No, you said correctly. I don't know why I miss.
No worries.
Evening. Yeah.
So we went like in winter time. Yeah.
Well, it's summer, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for you it's summer. Well, we have to clarify. It was winter.
Sorry. Again, I'm in January.
Yeah.
Again, I stuck in that. That's why I say, it's your winter. Our summer.
Our winter.
Yes. Sorry.
No problem. Yeah, I kind of mix it up.
Yeah. No, all good. Yeah. June is winter.
June. But it's perfect time to go because it's not that hot. It's not that crowded. You still have people. It's real, of course. We went up to Christ, and it was like a lot of people, and we shared the pictures with our friends or people that already went in summer, and they told us that's absolutely nothing. It's empty, and it was like for us it was too much. So it's the perfect time to go. Please don't go there because it's when I'm planning to go.
But man, like, and all being said, all the South America, I know, like, again, reputation, safety here, there.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of trips you had, like, I don't know, hotels or like car trip, maybe both, I don't know. How all this thing is for you as a traveler? Did you had any accidents or situations?
Good question, because
like how it was your experience?
yeah, really good question. And I have thought about it before coming here on this trip, because I have never had like a big problem or situation. The only thing that I can recall that it was a problem, but nothing major. It was like in a family trip that we went with my family, mother, my dad, and my brother to Chile, and my mom had her appendix extraction in Chile. It was quite an experience, but that's the only thing that ever happened to me.
But it's not connected to like some safety or something.
No, you mean safety? No. In terms of safety, I live in Latin America. I tend to be super careful about that when traveling in Latin America mainly. For example, now I don't even care about anything. Maybe I have to care a little bit more because I'm like I leave my phone anywhere.
Well, you're not in France, man. Yeah. Like, it's Poland, the safe.
It's super safe here. But what I experienced, for example, now the most recent trip to Brazil, to Rio and Bucios, if anyone listening is planning to go, for me it was super safe. I had gone with my family like 10 years ago or a little bit more, and I was more afraid, and I had this memory that it's dangerous, favelas, you have to be careful and everything. Not sure if it was because I was younger, but now it was like, it's, of course, you are still in Latin America, but you can walk on the beach and nothing's gonna happen like bad if you are careful, but you don't have to be afraid of going.
And as a local, what can you recommend, like all this? Because you say you're over careful, you're always like, like what are those measures?
Yeah,
how you call it?
Yeah, measures.
What you do like to be safe, how you, let's say, take care of you, of like your people around, like I mean like girlfriend or like family or like what is recommendation in general?
Yeah, for example, I can give you like the Buenos Aires starter pack tips.
Starter pack, let's go.
Yeah, for example, walking with your phone on your hand, like don't even care with anything about anything in Buenos Aires. It's a little dangerous because you get these guys from motorbikes that can come from nothing and they steal your phone. Of course, purses for girls and everything, but that's like super common in Buenos Aires. Even though if you are in your car, they can smash your window and take your belongings from the middle of the highway. So in that sense, you have to be a little bit more extra careful just to not show off your things in public. And of course, you are visiting and you are a tourist, you are gonna scream tourist all over the place, but try to keep it a little bit more quiet in like sensitive places. I don't know, like places that you see that are not that touristic, for example.
Okay.
Or like if you are going like walking down the street at night, I always look on my back like every 15 seconds. For example, in Buenos Aires. Now I can enter like a park here in Poland that it's completely dark and I wouldn't even care. But yeah, it's like those small things, or maybe like don't carry, I don't know, all your important belongings, passport, if you are, I don't know, going to some place, because they might pickpocket you. That can happen here as well, of course. Or like some common scams in Argentina with the exchange as well. That happens a lot because people are not aware of our currency exchanges, because it's not the traditional one. We haven't spoken about this, but we have like the formal exchange rate and the informal one. The formal one is like the government approved one.
Yeah.
That it's let's say that it's like 30% lower than the actual one.
All right.
And so if you don't know about this and you are gonna exchange money in the middle of the street, they may give you like fake bills or provide them at this lower exchange. Because the actual one, for example, $1 it's 1,000 pesos. That's the formal one. But the actual one is $1, 1,000 to 300, 200, 300 pesos. It varies.
So let's say like where to find this rate?
Yeah, you can find it like in internet. You can find like a dollar blue, we call like blue.
But it sounds like
you have like
exchangers.
You can see it, and everyone in the street will change it at that rate. But if you don't know about this, they will take advantage of it.
Well,
That's
cool,
pretty
man.
good.
No,
Weird.
this is cool stuff. This is cool. Good, definitely to know. And all being said, like again, your trips around South America and Europe now and back then, how you can say also like compare those trips, cultures, I don't know, emotions. Again, maybe as we touch the safety moment. In general, like how those, let's say, two experiences, let's separate them as like two different experiences. Even though like it's much more like, and like all new trip is different, but I mean like let's say by continental, by the region itself, like how can you compare traveling around there and here? I
mean, that's a really good question. I haven't thought about it. For me, that just like thinking quickly about this could be, it's like Latin America. It's a little bit, as you know, it's more chaotic. It's not that chaotic, but you can find this like chaos that it could be like organized chaos, as we have spoken previously. That it's super fun to watch and to learn, because even though you are still in Latin America, if you go outside of Argentina, you will learn about other cultures, how they live, everything. So, but it's like, I feel like it a little bit more chaotic. The struggle of the people, not only the cultures, how I feel like we have more effort to do, for example, or like that things here are like, I don't like to say like more easy, because they are not. You have it's different. There are like different problems, but you get to see the difference on how you live here or I don't know, in Latin America.
And let's say when you travel itself, like is it any differences? Let's say like priorities, what you do, or like your activities, what you do. Any changes here there?
Maybe that I will pay a little bit more attention to the history here in Europe. But in general, for me, I love nature, so I'm always looking to go to nature, and that's the main thing. But for example, in this trip, not that much. But on my previous trip, I went to a lot of museums, learn more about history. Even though I was young. Sometimes, to be totally honest, I was a little bored sometimes because it was too much to process. I was like, okay. But yeah, I learned a lot. And in this trip, I said to myself, maybe I'm not going to go to that much museums or learn that much history like that way, for example. I would like to maybe like this, like get to know the locals, a little bit more the culture, that somebody tells me how is to live there, maybe to connect a little bit more with the people rather than the history itself.
I see. Right, okay, makes sense. Makes sense, yeah. You know what came to my mind super fast, and I think super fast. We finished, let's say, this comparison somehow here there. The thing is, because you mentioned Colombian jungles, man, you've been in any jungles?
In that Colombian one?
Because you also like started to explain about Europe and stuff, nature, and I was like, crap, like South America, again, Amazonia, this region, and so on. And apparently you might been there, and just like briefly, have you ever been? Firstly,
no, to a jungle. I couldn't call that a jungle in Colombia. It was like the start of the jungle, but I wasn't in Amazonas. You've been there, right?
Also I can touch it a little bit. I've been like in some island. I crossed the Amazonas a little bit. Maybe I don't even know, because there's some kind of river together. I don't even know what I was crossing. It was heavy. You can kind of even puke and so on. But somehow I
could probably be cross it then.
Yeah, because it was kind of, for me it was the most aggressive river I ever even seen. It was and so I've been in some island. Definitely, I think it was jungle. I can consider, and again that region, it's already connected to jungles itself. So, but I didn't go to indigenous or this is something.
I feel where you're going.
Yeah. But so you haven't,
No, I haven't. Okay. I really want to go.
So interesting.
We have for example, in North Argentina, we have jungles more towards north east, and it's on my list. Then I can come back to the podcast.
Do you have indigenous people in Argentina?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we have in the south, of course, and north. It's more towards. Salta, Jujuy, that are the provinces more near towards Bolivia and North Chile. There we have as well.
And still actively living. And
yeah.
Can you visit, or are they open to visit? Yeah,
exactly.
Shit, man, this is another fascinating thing.
Yeah, and you can see that part of Argentina. I haven't been the northwest, and
we will go.
Yeah, of course, I will wait for you, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, really, I haven't. I think my indigenous is Slavic indigenous. With some babushkas, grandmas, this is my indigenous. This is my indigenous. What I thought. Yeah, I think I never. No, okay, I've been
in Asia. You probably seen or
indigenous.
No, well, indigenous no, but all
more how to say,
local
countryside. Again, maybe touch a little bit in Jordan. I've been in the Bedouin vibe. It's kind of indigenous. They're indigenous, and I saw another people. I don't know how you call them. Maybe also a Bedouin lifestyle. So Bedouin is people, let's say nomads somehow. Yeah. And I saw the guy. He was with sheep and dog, and he even when I even tried to make photo of sheep, he was quite aggressive and saying no, you cannot. I said
not even the sheep.
Yeah, I kind of even tried to argue, but for them it's, I don't know, as my friend explained, that it's again, hey, it's not touchable, it's his, and he can be mad and upset and not do something with me, but he was kind of stop, don't do it. Even though I was kind of even selfie mode, he was not still happy, very unhappy, I would say.
No.
But also I've been let's say in desert with those Bedouin experience, but it's touristic stuff. It's what the name of it? Wadi Ram. It's in Jordan desert. It's it's very touristic. It's touristic destination. Definitely it's touristic trap and so on. But this experience, again, they try to make for you, let's say, food in the sand, how it's all smoky and stuff. Sleep, you have this desert, you hear coyotes, you see these stars, pure stars, pure
pristine
clean stars, tons of stars, Milky Way, everything they're, very interesting, but it's touristic. It's not something randomly you find. Even though somebody told me that they had such experience, some random people, even though, let's say, Bedouins, but they have internet and so on, so not that kind of indigenous, but you kind of can and have experience like this, kind of hiddenly, because when you go to this Wadi Ram, it's kind of mandatory to have some tour or something, because these people, it's their territory, they live, they own
for
it,
that,
it's their land, it's how they do. But again, I heard a story from another couch surfer. She went with another couch surfer, her host, somehow there, and they slept, but not in the house, not in the igloo or this tent, but just by themselves on some sand, a lot of blankets. So somehow they did it. I don't know how. Anyway, Anyway, back to your current trip, man. Because
Yeah.
now, like, also another topic. Let's dig a little bit.
For sure.
Because it's also a little bit might be personal for me. Remote work and travel. Okay, another camera is gone. All right.
We lost second camera.
It's okay. I think it's just memory finished. Yeah, yeah. So the thing is, yeah, like because now you do like again you travel.
Yeah.
You travel already 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
And then you will travel 3 or 2 more.
3.5 more probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So like pretty long in general, and you're still working.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to touch. Like how is it? Like how is your day-to-day activity? How do you find this like balance between work and travel actively? Because you move a lot. You already been, like you say, in mountains and like in Germany and here now, and then like you go next. We will touch like Balkans. Yeah, how is all?
Super good question, man. Because I have never imagined when I was younger that I was gonna live like this. And it's super fun, I can tell you. Sometimes you struggle a little bit, but it's part of the job. First of all, what I can tell you, it's like to be on a good company that allows this work-life digital nomad balance, for example. That's like the first thing, of course. My company, Athena, I'm lucky to be there because they have like this vacation and PTO policy that you have like a great amount of days that you can spread as you want and use them, for example, a full day or a half day that we call digital nomad. So that's the way that I've been traveling now in this trip. I have like, 20 days, I believe, left for this year. So that's how I'm spending them now. For example, these past 3 weeks, I believe I made a combination. Some days I took full days, not all of them, maybe 4 or 5 or 3, I don't remember. But most of them, it was like half days. So thanks to the time difference as well, for example, that I have with Argentina, that is the time that I usually work with, or with Eastern or Pacific time from the United States. I on the mornings here in Europe, I'm free to do whatever I want, and then I have to work only 4 hours per day on the half days. So that allows me to be this like active and do some. Maybe I can do, if I have a meeting, I work 1 hour. Then I send some emails, and then I go back to being a tourist, a regular one. Maybe then after 3 hours, I log in a little bit more and do some stuff and like that. Sometimes I go to a cafe. I have, of course, like my chip with data available. If not, it wouldn't be possible.
Yeah,
but unluckily here in Poland, it's not that working that well. But you can always go to a Starbucks or I don't know, a nice cafe that you have recommended me. And that's mainly it, because it first like being able to have that in your own company.
Man, firstly, I think it's very lucky, right? This we let's don't lie. This is kind of it's a treasure somehow, like to find a company who stimulate you to also to travel, to explore and be nice. I would totally choose this option if I would have so, because in my case I can do only I'm fully remote, but I'm locked in Poland, like I can be only in Poland. For me it's a little bit stupid and unfair. I don't really agree, and I believe that we are all adults and we can do and travel. I understand what company is scary, the safety, security and so on. Definitely no really judge towards this, it's pretty obvious. However, again, like as we adults, we have responsibility. If you screw up, okay, sorry, you fired.
You're responsible.
You fired, sorry.
Exactly.
But if you're all cool, responsible, I don't know, have some maybe not full time, of course. I know that also another problem is taxations, definitely also. But again, we're all responsible people. We're responsible for ourselves. If you screwed. If you like went to Thailand for 1 year, sorry man, like sorry, you know, like you fired, yeah, obviously. But I believe that company should make somehow this not about even balance, but motivation to people to not even motivation, give the possibility to people to have the choice what they want to do, especially again most of the companies again.
Yeah.
It's like we work, it's IT, it's oh my god, this kid
The bomb again.
sounds. DJI, shout out to you. So yeah, like as we work through internet, we don't really even like connect and again we work all globally mostly. Because nobody really nowadays work in local market. I mean, like it's really local, so you can you don't see these people that much. You don't need this like office or something. Okay, if somebody wants, but anyway, let's don't discuss. I think I went too personal. But the thing is, what I'm trying to say, this is firstly very cool, very lucky, really happy for you, and
Great.
Secondly, very interesting that you can take these half days vacations, and yeah, very nice that you different time zones because you can uncover and trip and stuff. And does your trip activities change like towards like your work and your this way of travel?
Well, that's another good question, as many that you have asked, because I tend to plan my days towards this because I have to do this balance.
But do you plan like, let's say, in very advanced, let's say week?
No,
or
not that advanced. Maybe this kind of only the next week, the week that I'm currently living. For example, this week is the first one that I'm fully working the full time during the whole week. So I'm not doing that much of visiting touristic places. But the other weeks, for example, I have, I don't know, the Monday it's fully off. Then I have the other 4 days, half day. So I kind of try to make it towards, like, for example, if I want to do a hike, I'm gonna do it on the weekends or Monday. That is the day that I took off. And the other days, I can juggle a little bit with the times. That's the good thing. But always keeping in mind that, for example, I have fixed meetings, weeklies or monthlies or other meetings that I cannot move. So always having in mind those meetings that I already have them in my mind. So, for example, I have a weekly on Tuesdays, 9:30 a.m. Argentina time. So I know that on Tuesdays at 2:30 p.m. European time, I need to be connected. So I'm always trying to be around that. It's not that hard once you get used to it.
I see. Sweet, very sweet. And so, what about your upcoming trip, next trip? No, not like upcoming, but like this. Ongoing, but let's say next step.
What's next?
Yeah,
well, I kind of been planning it on the way. I had this like general idea of what I wanted to do, but I have been planning not more than like 3 or 4 days ahead from where I am. That I kind of like it because if you like one place, you can stay a little bit more. Indeed. Maybe you can change it on the way. I have changed some reservations that I got, so that's a cool thing. That I totally recommend, not to stick to a fixed schedule that, of course, in some trips you are gonna do it. I have done it and I like it when are shorter, but now I'm more like free, living day to day and being like free in that way. And I truly love it. So what's next? To answer your question, I'm going to the Balkans. First, I'm going to Montenegro. Now I'm going tomorrow. So I will be renting a car and doing like this road trip that I love road tripping. So it will be like 5 days of pure road trip. I will be working, I think, like only 2 half days of those 5. So it will be super good.
Yeah.
And after that, I will go up to Croatia, maybe stepping in a little bit in Bosnia to visit Mostar. That it's good. We've talked about it.
Nice place. I'm really excited. Sorry, just to add fast Bosnia for your road trip in Bosnia. This is that's what I want to come back for Bosnia for road trip. Like, I was by bus. Like always with you, like oh my god, like it's always you want to stop everywhere.
That's the thing when you go by bus or train and you see some cool place and it's like please stop it.
Yeah, really. Yeah, so Montenegro, maybe Bosnia, then maybe Croatia.
Yeah. I think Croatia, it's a definite yes.
But you already been there.
Yeah, I've been only to Zagreb.
Okay.
Yeah.
So capital, I got you. Makes sense.
So I want to do the whole coast because my mom has the Croatian citizenship. As you probably heard.
I didn't pronounce.
You didn't pronounce my last name. It's Dominic. So, my great grandmother from my mother's side is from Croatia. She was born there, and I have this willing to visit all the country. I want to go to the island that my family is from, that it's Brač, to visit. I don't know, to see my last name maybe carved on stone on a graveyard, to see some history about our family. That would be super cool. And after that, I will meet with a friend as well that I already was. I was with him in Munich in Oktoberfest. Another funny story. And after Croatia, I will head back to Spain to visit my brother that he's living there, to Alicante. And I really miss him, so I want to spend like the last part. I already spent the first part of my trip with him, and the last part I'm gonna spend it with him. But because basically the first reason of this travel was to visit my brother, so I extended it a little bit and make it a little bit more of visiting another friends and countries.
Nice, cool. Yeah, really excited for your road trip. Cool.
Yeah,
man, really. Thank you for conversation. Yeah, we are having nice time. I think we can keep going.
For sure.
Let's keep some stories maybe for another time. However, like if you have some tips maybe for travelers, you already mentioned one, and I really like it, to be honest. Especially like, hey, don't, like if you have a plan, like be chill and like don't fully think about this plan, like be open to be flexible, like to change it to, so this is kind of, in my opinion, it's really nice advice, because when, let's say, you have full planned trip and then something start to not work or something delayed, is fucking stress. And then like, why you need the stress in the trip? So this flexibility of cancellation or lose some money, I know like people can argue, and like I've been there, like when it's like no money and stuff. But again, I think would be good advice, if you don't have enough money, don't really plan, still leave a room for you, because better to, let's say, maybe a little bit overpay if it would be something more expensive, like let's say bus tickets or something, like changing with times, then like lose this money fully, like kind of course, if it's like 10 euros, whatever, but like if it's like 50, like it's already, it's money, like, during the trip, for instance. So I think this would be nice, not to fully stick with the plan. Any other tips, any other ideas, like through your experience here, there?
I would recommend like experiencing different kind of travels. Probably people are already planning on this, but for example, for me, it's been really good to experience traveling with my friends, with different group of friends. Not all of them are the same. Then travel with my family, my girlfriend, alone as well. If you travel alone, sometimes you will be lonely. Sometimes you will be. I feel, at least for me, that I make more friends, and that's what I enjoy the most about traveling alone. And you also get to know yourself more. Sometimes you are alone, you want to be alone, you are sad, you will experience sadness, or you miss your family, and it's like different type of trips that I totally recommend to make at least one of each, like family, friends, partner, and alone, because each of them, it has its own beauty. And you will get a lot of each of them.
Oh, this is very nice. I like it. Good advice. Thank you. Cool, man. Last words, last touch. where people can, I don't know, follow you, be in touch with you, maybe join your road trip if you have a space in car. I think you go alone, so
it would be amazing
if somebody listen, because I'm gonna publish it tomorrow, so who knows, maybe freshly. So people, if by any chance you listen it and you around Balkans, so how they can find you?
I can share my Instagram, that it's Fede Bubinic.
I will put it in the description.
It's my last name. You will put it in. And you can friend me in Instagram, and we can join. You can join me in the Balkans. I have like 3 free spots in my car in Montenegro.
Nice. And I think we can also put your couch surfing if somebody wanna host you.
Of course. And
let's see.
I'm more than happy. As I head back to Argentina, I will start hosting people because I didn't have my own place, and now I will have some spare room to host people that I'm really, really thrilled of, like hosting random people like you are doing with me now. So I'm thrilled about that. So my coach profile would be great.
Sweet, man. Thank you, really. Once again, high five.
Thank you.
Episode. And see you all in the next episodes.